It is no longer an irony of our times, but a repeat occurrence of our political process. Then Mr. Rahul Gandhi wades in to rescue the BJP when it has lost the strokes to swim through troubled waters. But in the ongoing monsoon session in Parliament, an even more interesting phenomenon is unfolding. A large section of the opposition has joined Mr. Gandhi in his rescue act of the BJP, never mind the danger that they could all sink in the process. Hi, and welcome all to the CAA show. My name is Jaggi Bhasin. CAA is, of course, conversations and analysis. Now, why do I say Rahul Gandhi is BJP's best friend? The thing is, as the second wave of the pandemic flattens out, the glare was on the BJP, how best or worse they had managed the pandemic and, of course, the way forward. And it is precisely when the BJP was looking more than vulnerable, Rahul Gandhi gave them a free pass. He, more than anyone else, brought Pegasus into focus and blurred the scrutiny on the BJP's handling of the pandemic and the economic downturn. Understand this. How many people has Pegasus impacted, assuming hacking did take place? Not more than 300 individuals. In contrast, how many people has the pandemic impacted? Millions of people, undoubtedly. So what should have been the priority for Mr. Gandhi? The fate of those millions or these 300 people, many of them journalists, and believe me when I say a lot of people in the country have no sympathy for journalists and are completely cold to the fact that their phones might have been tapped. Mr. Gandhi's breakfast meetings, tractor and cycle rallies, and other antics, unfortunately, appeared juvenile, time-wasting tactics. All these events were, in a sense, designed to grab talking points on Twitter and social media. And that is the point that escapes Mr. Rahul Gandhi. If you want to be taken seriously as a political entity, there is no substitute for serious, hard debates in Parliament. A Twitterization of your agenda and outreach and politics will remain just that, a twit's game. We all enjoy a spectacle, but we never take clowns and performers in a show seriously. Opportunity, they say, knocks only once for those who are prepared to grab it. Mr. Gandhi, as a kind of a de facto leader of the entire opposition, had the opportunity to go in for the kill and put the BJP on the mat and shore up his support base. But he muffed up his chance. And the BJP grabbed this free pass with barely concealed delight. Their managers kept imploring the opposition to resume debate in Parliament, but it does not take a psychologist to tell us that secretly they would have been delighted that the opposition had made Parliament a no-go zone and killed all debate. The important point to understand in this entire fracas is that the Pegasus issue is not an emotive issue for Indians. The pandemic is, because it affects our lives. Yes, there is the argument that Pegasus affects our privacy and freedom of speech. But if you ask me, these are larger ethical and moral issues, and I have my serious doubts such issues find large-scale traction among the people. In hindsight, the government could have been grilled on so many fronts, but they got away from it all scot-free. And the incredible thing is that even sober elements in the opposition joined Mr. Gandhi in backing the wrong horse, the wrong issue. Now, take a look in contrast what the BJP did, what all they did to plug the gap in their shortcomings, so evidently seen at the height of the second wave. Let's start from UP. Yes, there was a time, though quite brief, I would say, when Yogi's hold in UP looked infirm. The BJP top brass then moved in quickly to dispel rumors of a change of guard there. Then they set out to aggressively control the pandemic in the state and gave teeth to the ongoing vaccination program. 2 months back, Yogi was looking out of place, out of sorts, unsure of his position. Now he looks on top of things. New surveys show that the BJP is sitting on more than 40% vote share in the state for the coming elections. And that figure is inching up. A chance for the opposition to revive the nightmare of the bodies in UP buried near riverbeds. That chance has been frittered away in this session of parliament by the entire opposition. Like the Terminator theme, Mr. Yogi could well be saying, I am back. Now let's look at other areas where the government has moved in fast. The vaccination drive in the country is picking up, and at the foreign policy end, this recent visit of the Secretary of State of the US, Anthony Blinken, has reaffirmed why America needs India and vice versa. The two countries share a common vision on most issues, and I would say including Afghanistan. And even the so-called threatened American rap on India's knuckles for its human rights record, well, it never really materialized. Then more good news is coming, especially on the economic front. Exports are looking up. And only yesterday, the repeal of the retrospective tax law will bolster foreign direct investment and make India an attractive, fair destination for industry vis-a-vis China. So the storm clouds are slowly drifting away, and to put the icing on the cake, well, we secured a bronze in hockey, and look at the air of joy, the vivre sweeping the country. Now, in contrast, a morose, depressed, glum, backward-looking opposition is crying hoarse. They are saying, Pegasus, Pegasus, Pegasus. And if you ask me, no one is listening. No one cares. Everyone wants to ignore irrelevant issues and even put behind them the tragedy and suffering of the second wave and move forward to optimism. This is the point that escapes the opposition. Mr. Rahul Gandhi should know that the key to winning a derby race is not only the stamina and skill of the racing horse, but also the selection of the right horse. But unfortunately, this point escapes Mr. Gandhi. He ends up giving the BJP a free pass again and again and again. So on that note, we come to the end of this episode, and I hope you enjoyed it, you liked it. Please subscribe to us. We need a lot of subscribers for this new channel. So do press on the icon button and subscribe to us. And all of you out there, have a good night and cheers to everyone once again. Goodbye.